Good day and welcome to our academic forum. In today's rapidly evolving digital landscape, education has moved far beyond physical classrooms and traditional teaching methods. Learning now takes place through learning management systems, video conferencing platforms, cloud-based tools, as well as online communication channels. As a result, the role of the teacher has expanded significantly. So, as futuristic teachers, we are no longer only transmitters of academic content. We are also digital leaders, ethical role models, and protectors of students' online well-being. This is why today's forum is titled The Shield of Quality Education. So as we can see, the title reflects our central argument, that is, cyber law awareness, data privacy protection, and cybercrime prevention form a protective framework that sustains trust, safety, and credibility in education. So, I want all of you to know that the big idea guiding our discussion is that the futuristic teacher acts as a catalyst for quality education. So this means that teachers actively shape not only academic outcomes, but also the digital culture in which learning takes place. A safe and ethical digital environment is not a bonus. It is a foundational condition for effective teaching as well as learning in the 21st century. So, from my perspective, one of the most important responsibilities of futuristic teachers is leadership in building a school-wide culture of cyber responsibility. This involves establishing shared expectations, promoting professional online conduct, and ensuring that digital safety is treated as a collective value rather than an individual concern. So, for example, when teachers consistently model professional communication in emails or messaging platforms and learning management systems, they send a powerful message to students. Students begin to understand that online spaces are academic spaces. This reinforces respect, accountability, and appropriate behavior. And apart from that, teachers in leadership roles, whether formal or informal, influence how colleagues approach technology use. When teachers advocate for secure platforms, ethical data practices, and responsible online communication, they contribute to a culture where cyber safety becomes part of the school's identity. So this leadership functions transforms cybersecurity from a technical issue into an educational priority. It becomes part of how the institution defines quality. A school that prioritizes digital safety demonstrates care for students, professionalism among staff, and responsibility towards stakeholders such as parents and the wider community. So, the concept of digital guardianship is central to this role. Futuristic teachers act as digital guardians by guiding students, setting boundaries, and protecting learners from potential online risks. This does not mean limiting access to technology, but rather guiding its use in a way that supports learning while minimizing harm. So through policy implementation, modeling behavior, and consistent expectations, teachers help students internalize responsible digital habits, and these habits extend beyond school and shape how students interact with technology in their personal and future professional lives. So this is where the big idea becomes fully realized. The futuristic teacher acts as a catalyst for quality education by shaping a digital culture built on trust, accountability, and ethical responsibility. So by doing so, teachers create learning environments where students feel safe, supported, as well as confident to participate. This leadership-driven approach ensures that cyber safety is not an afterthought, but a core pillar of educational excellence. So, Naqib, I would like to hear your opinion on cyber law and legal accountability.
So, alright, Soong. Firstly, I would like to thank you, Soong, for inviting me on this program today. And so now, the cyber law and the legal accountability. Building on trust, building on the leadership and cultural perspective, my focus is on cyber law and the legal responsibility of teachers in digital learning environment. In today's education system, we can see that teachers are increasingly involved in digital activity that carry legal implication, even if they are not always fully aware of them. So you see, cyber law refers to the legal framework that govern online activity. This including data protection, intellectual property, and online harassment, and also some misuse of digital platform. The futuristic teacher must possess at least foundation knowledge of this area in order to carry out their professionality properly. You see, one major area of concern in handling student data is that teachers regularly access and manage personal information such as names, identification details, academic record, and even behavior reports. Improperly handling this data, not merely a technical mistake, it may constitute a legal violation that exposes school and teacher to serious consequences. You see, for example, sharing a student information through unsecure platform, personal device, or unauthorized third-party application. This may breach the data protection principle. Similarly, forwarding class lists, grades, or personal details without proper authorization. This may compromise the student privacy and violate legal standards. Also, another important legal issue involved in copyright and intellectual properties. You see, these teachers nowadays often share digital resources such as articles, videos, worksheet, and even image. If these materials are shared without proper permission or licensing, this may result in copyright infringement. Although such action may seem minor, they can still carry legal and ethical implications towards the teacher. Now, I would like to talk about the online harassment and misuse of digital platform. You see, it also falls under cyber law. Teachers are responsible for responding appropriately to incidents such as cyberbullying, inappropriate messaging, and online misconduct. Failure to act may not only harm the student, but also expose institutions to legal risks. From an analytical perspective, this demonstrates that cyber law is not separate from everyday teaching practice. It is embedded in daily digital interaction between teachers, students, and educational platforms. Teachers are therefore on the front line of legal compliance in digital education. Is that legal awareness also strengthens ethical teaching. The law often reflects broader ethical principles such as fairness, consent, privacy, and accountability. When teachers follow cyber law, they are not simply avoiding punishment, they are modeling ethical digital citizenship for students, for the future students. Now you see, this directly connect to the big idea. The futuristic teacher become a catalyst for quality education by transforming legal requirement into ethical classroom practice. Legal awareness become part of professional identity and educational responsibility, and also by interrogating integrating cyber law into daily teaching decision. Teachers protect students, preserve international credibility, and promote a cultural responsibility. This legal and ethical alignment support safe, trustworthy, and high-quality learning environment, which are essential for sustainable education excellence.
Okay, so
What do you think, Afif?
Okay, so thank you Naqib and Soong for inviting me onto this program. So now I will continue about data privacy and cybercrime prevention. So from my perspective, I believe that one of the most critical responsibilities of futuristic teachers is the fact that the protection of student data privacy and the active prevention of cybercrime. So as digital learning becomes more widespread, schools will collect and store increasing amounts of sensitive information. Next is the learning management systems, online assessment platforms, and communication tools. Those contain personal and academic data such as student names, login credentials, academic performance, and sometimes behavioral records. Teachers can also interact with this data on a daily basis and therefore play a key role as gatekeepers of student information. Okay, so next, teachers must ensure that access to data is limited to authorized users, that passwords are strong and secure, and that information is not shared through unsafe or informal channels. Although this simple practice, such as logging out of shared devices and even avoiding the use of personal emails for official communication, can significantly reduce data risk. So, beyond technical protection, teachers also have an educational responsibility. Students must be taught how to protect themselves from cyber threats such as phishing scams, identity theft, and malicious links. These threats are increasingly sophisticated and can easily deceive inexperienced users. So, for example, when teachers explain how phishing emails operate, students learn to recognize suspicious messages and avoid sharing personal information. This transforms cybersecurity into a practical life skill rather than just a school. So, as you all know, cybercrime prevention should therefore be proactive rather than reactive, right? So, instead of waiting for incidents to occur, I believe that futuristic teachers must embed cyber safety education into daily teaching. Like, this includes discussions about strong passwords, safe online communication, and the responsibilities of users of digital platforms. So, analytically, this approach shifts students from passive technology users into a more of an informed and resilient digital learners. So they will become more capable of protecting themselves and making responsible decisions in online environments. So this empowerment is especially important in a digital society where, as you all know, students will continue to use technology in higher education, employment, and personal life. Therefore, by equipping students with cyber safety knowledge, teachers contribute to long-term digital resilience. So, I believe that this perspective strongly supports the big idea. By safeguarding privacy and actively preventing cybercrime, futuristic teachers create a safe digital ecosystem where safety is a foundation condition for quality education, right? So when students feel secure, they will be more willing to participate, communicate, and engage in online learning. So in this way, futuristic teacher act as a catalyst for quality education by ensuring that digital learning spaces are not only innovative but also secure, ethical and trustworthy. This balance between opportunity and protection is very essential for preparing students to thrive in an increasingly digital world.
I see. So just now I really appreciated the views and ideas that both of you have shared. So now we're going to panel round one, which is going to be about cyber law and privacy in daily classroom practice. So first of all, I would like to explore how cyber law and privacy practices are applied in everyday classroom situations. So right, from a leadership perspective, I think it is important to that these principles are not treated as abstract policies, but instead are translated into daily routines that teachers and students can clearly understand. So, for example, right, when schools establish clear procedures for handling student data, for example, like how grades are stored, how attendance records are shared, and how communication platforms are used, so teachers in this situation are better able to apply legal and privacy principles consistently. And this consistency reduces confusion as well as strengthens accountability. So it is my view that leadership plays a critical role in aligning school policies with classroom practices. Teachers who take initiative in explaining privacy rules to students can help create shared responsibility rather than top-down enforcement. And what's also interesting is that this also supports the big idea. When teachers lead by example in applying cyber law and privacy practices, they act as catalysts for quality education by normalizing ethical, lawful digital behavior. And as a result, students begin to see digital responsibility as part of academic professionalism, not merely as a set of restrictions. So, Naqib, I would like to hear your view on this.
Now, Soong, firstly, I think I agree with your point of the importance of translating policies in daily practice. You see, from a legal perspective, cyber law provides the formal framework, but it is teachers who operationalize that framework in real classroom context. For instance, when teachers decide which platform to use for an assignment, communication, or assessment, they are making legal decisions, even if they do not always perceive them as such. Choosing platform with appropriate data protection measure, ensure that school remain compliant with the legal standard. And also, I would like to add that teachers must be cautious about how student information is shared. You see, even well-intentioned actions such as forwarding student work or screenshot may raise legal and privacy concerns if done without proper authorization. So you see, building on the big idea, even teachers demonstrate legal awareness in this daily decision. They strengthen into national integrity, and this also reinforces quality education by ensuring that legal compliance and ethical responsibility are embedded into everyday teaching practice rather than treated as separated administrative concern. That's from my point of view.
Okay, so building on both points, so I would like to emphasize that privacy practices are the practical expressions of cyber law in daily classroom life. So, from a data protection perspective, teachers are responsible for ensuring that student information is not unnecessarily exposed or shared. So, for example, displaying student names and results publicly on screens or sharing documents through unsecured links might unintentionally compromise privacy. Small actions like this can accumulate into significant risk if they are not managed more carefully. And I also believe that teachers should involve students in understanding on why these practices matter. So, when students understand that privacy protection is about safeguarding their own identity and future, well, they are more likely to cooperate and take responsibility. This directly supports the big idea, which is by embedding privacy awareness into daily routines, futuristic teachers act as a catalyst for quality education. Though they help students develop respect for personal data, which strengthens trust and create a safer digital learning environment for everyone.
I see. So, thank you again for providing us with your inspiring ideas and perspectives. So right now we're in round 2, which is going to be about balancing education technology innovation with cyber responsibility. So I would like to focus on the challenge of balancing educational technology innovation with cyber security responsibility. So from a leadership perspective, innovation should be encouraged, but it must be guided by clear ethical and safety principles. So the thing is that teachers often feel pressured to adopt new platforms and tools to enhance engagement and learning outcomes. However, leadership involves asking critical questions before implementation, such as whether the platform protects student data and whether it aligns with institutional policies. So it is my perspective that this evaluative role is a key aspect of being a futuristic teacher. It shows that innovation is not simply about using the latest technology, but about integrating technology responsibly. And this entire topic aligns with the big idea that because it shows that teachers who lead responsible innovation act as catalysts for quality education. So they ensure that technological progress strengthens learning while preserving student safety and institutional trust. So I would like to hear your perspective on this topic, Naqib.
Yes, thank you, Soong. So, from a legal standpoint, I strongly support what your emphasis on evaluation. You see, innovation must always remain within regulatory and legal boundaries. Teacher should not assume that a popular or free platform is automatically compliant with the data protection or privacy regulation. Therefore, before adopting a new tool, teachers should consider whether the platform collects excessive data, where the data is stored, and who has access to it. These questions are essential for legal compliance. In addition, institutions may have specific policies regarding approving platform. Ignoring these policies may expose schools to legal risks, even if the teacher's intention is to improve learning. It may cause a bad review to the school. So by linking this to the big idea, futuristic teachers become catalysts for quality education when they ensure that innovation is legally and ethically grounded. This protects both the student and institution while allowing the technology to be used as a tool for meaningful learning. What do you think of it?
Yeah, I agree with you. From a cyber safety perspective, innovation also increases the potential attack surface for cybercrime. Each new platform or application introduces new risks, such as weak security settings, phishing vulnerabilities, and or even data leaks. Teachers therefore play a critical role in assessing not only the educational value of a tool, but also its security features. This includes checking privacy settings, understanding users' permissions, and guiding students on safe usage. I also believe that innovation should be accompanied by student education. When students are introduced to new platforms, I believe that every teacher should also teach cyber safety practices related to those tools. This supports the big idea by ensuring that innovation does not compromise safety. Futuristic teacher acts as a catalyst for quality education by integrating technology in a way that enhances learning while strengthening cyber resilience. Okay, that's all for me.
I see. So, right now we are in the third panel. So, this is going to be about teacher as catalyst and their role in changing student behavior. Now, this is going to be focused on the big idea. So, I would like to focus on how futuristic teachers actively change student behavior. So, from a leadership and cultural perspective, teachers influence not only what students learn, but also how they behave in digital environments. So the thing is, when teachers consistently model respectful communication, ethical technology use, and responsible data handling, students begin to mirror these behaviors. And this modeling effect is a powerful tool for shaping digital conduct. And another point is that teachers who openly discuss cyber ethics and safety create opportunities for reflection and dialogue. So this helps students understand the reasoning behind rules rather than simply following instructions. And apart from that, this also strongly reflects the big idea. So by shaping the student behavior through leadership and modeling, futuristic teachers act as catalysts for quality education. They create a learning culture where digital responsibility is internalized, not imposed.
Well, so I very much agree with you on how you emphasize on the modeling. But I would like to add that legal awareness also plays a role in shaping student behavior nowadays. You see, when students are taught about the legal consequences of online action, they become more mindful for their digital choice. For example, understanding that online harassment or unauthorization sharing of content can have a legal implication that encourage students to think more carefully before acting. This approach moves beyond fear-based discipline and instead it promotes informed decision making. Students learn that their online action carry real-world consequences. And in relation to the big idea, futuristic teacher acts as a catalyst by integrating legal literacy into digital citizenship education. This empowers students to become responsible digital participants who contribute to a safer and more respectful online learning environment.
Okay. I agree with you, Soong and Naqib. So, by building on both points, I would like to emphasize that behavior change is the most effective and students are also empowered with practical cyber safety skills. So, when students know how to protect themselves, they feel more confident and take greater ownership, especially in their digital actions. For example, teaching students how to recognize phishing attempts or secure their accounts encourages proactive rather than reactive behavior. So as you all know, this reduces dependency on teachers and promotes digital independence. So in my view, this empowerment is a key mechanism for a long-term behavior change. So students are not just following rules, they are developing habits that will protect them beyond school. This directly supports the big idea. By empowering students with cyber safety skills, futuristic teachers act as a catalyst for quality education. They not only prepare students to engage responsibly in digital spaces, but strengthening both individual resilience and the overall safety of the learning community. That's all for me.
I see. So, once again, I really appreciate your ideas and perspectives. So, right now, I think it is time for the final reflections and as well as our closing. So, as we come to the end of this forum, I would like to return to the broader leadership perspective. So, in a digital education landscape, quality is obviously no longer defined only by academic results, but also by the systems and cultures that support safe learning. Futuristic teachers operate not only as classroom practitioners, but also as contributors to institutional culture. So it is through leadership, policy advocacy, and professional modeling that teachers are able to help shape environments where cyber safety is embedded into everyday practice. So we have to know that when teachers take ownership of digital responsibility, they influence how schools prioritize student protection, ethical technology use, as well as professional standards. This system-level impact ensures that cybersecurity is not treated as an isolated issue, but as a core element of educational policy. And this also directly reflects the big idea, because the futuristic teacher acts as a catalyst for quality education by strengthening institutional trust and promoting shared accountability. Leadership-driven cyber responsibility transforms schools into safe, ethical, and future-ready learning communities. Ultimately, when teachers lead with purpose as well as consistency, they create sustainable systems that protect learners and support excellence. And this is how leadership in cyber responsibility becomes a powerful force in shaping the future of education.
Now, talking from a legal and ethical perspective, I see that this forum highlights that the cyber law is not merely a set of external rules imposed on education. Instead, it is an integral part of professional teaching practice in digital age. You see, futuristic teachers must recognize that their daily digital decisions carry legal and ethical implications. I repeat, the teachers must recognize that their daily digital decisions carry a legal and ethical implication. Whether handling the student data or sharing digital resources or even responding to online misconduct, the teachers are constantly engaging with legal responsibility. However, legal compliance should not be viewed as a burden. It should be understood as a framework that supports fairness, accountability, and protection for all members in the educational community. This also reinforced with the big idea, our big idea, the futuristic teacher become catalyst for quality education by transforming legal awareness into ethical action. You see, by modeling lawful and responsible digital behavior, teachers cultivate a culture of integrity. In doing so, they also protect students, strengthen institutional credibility and promote trust in the education system. You see, legal and ethical alignment, that not only a professional obligation but also a key contributor for a sustainable educational quality in an increasing digital world.
I see. So next I will continue from my perspective of student safety and future readiness. So now it is clear that cybersecurity is not only about protecting the systems, but also about empowering learners. Futuristic teachers play a vital role in preparing students to navigate digital spaces with confidence, awareness, and responsibility. So basically, by teaching students on how to protect their personal data and how to recognize cyber threats and practice safe online behavior, teachers can automatically equip them with skills that extend far beyond the classroom. As you all know, these skills are very essential for higher education employment, especially in participation in digital society. So this approach shifts students from passive users of technology into active and informed digital citizens. They are better prepared to manage risks and make responsible decisions in online environment. As you all know, this strongly reflects in the big idea. The futuristic teacher acts as a catalyst for quality education by creating safe digital ecosystem and preparing students for the realities of a digital future. Ultimately, when students feel protected and empowered, they are more confident to engage, communicate, and learn. This combination of safety and readiness will ensure that digital education is not only innovative, but also ethical, resilient, and truly future focused.
I see. So it seems that all of us have provided our perspectives and views on this particular topic. So I guess that is the end of our forum for today. I would like to thank both of you for providing your information on this topic. And yeah, thank you. And that is all for our forum for today.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.